Namaste everyone, Carla Bazemore here, and today we're going to go through a sequence to help us get into a position known as Ashtavakrasana, or the pose, the posture of the Sage Ashtavakra. So let's start with chair pose. So coming up to standing, going to chair, inhaling, exhaling, going forward. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, step your right foot back. Place your right knee on the floor and then take both hands to the inside of the foot. Press your hips down. And just hold here for a few moments. Then you're going to take one arm under the leg and try to lift the back knee off the ground. Perhaps you can even take this front leg off the ground. And then come back. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Lifting your right leg up. And stepping forward with the right leg. Exhale, feet together and fold. Inhaling, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Left leg going back. Place the knee down. Bring the hands to the inside of the foot. Sink your hips and just hold for a few breaths. And if you want to try the second version of this, you take your arm underneath the leg and try lifting the back knee off the ground. And perhaps you can lift the front leg as well. Then come back down and go back into the down dog. Either do a vinyasa or pause and down dog for a few breaths. And then from the down dog, lift your right leg up, open the hips, open the chest towards the side, good. And then square step your right leg to the outside of the foot. Sink your hips down. You're welcome to place your back knee on the floor. Good. Then draw the belly in, pick up your leg, reach up again, and release. Left leg up, reach the leg up, bend your knee, take your hip a little bit to the side, and step that top foot to the outside of your arm, outside of the leg, sink your hips down a little bit. And pick up your leg, go back, reach, and down, plank, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale, and down dog, exhaling. Let's go into the seated boat pose. Draw your belly in, relax your shoulders. And then we're going to cross the leg. So bottom leg is bent. Top knee towards the opposite shoulder. And we're twisting. If it's easy enough for you to bind, then go ahead and bind. I'll show you from the side, okay? So here's the binding. And the next step would be to extend the leg with the binding. Lengthening the spine, draw your belly in, and coming down. Now, taking your right leg, so from the side, here's how you're going to do it. Right leg, and bind again. This is Ashtavakrasana, there's Sage pose, or Sage pose A. And you come back, lifting that same leg up and hold. 4, breathing. 3, lengthen the spine. 2, press your hand onto the side of your knee and move the knee a little bit to the shoulder. Stay there. I'm going to show you the same position, but now from the front. So same position. Okay? And then get your leg. Place your arm underneath your leg and try the compass pose. Take a few deep, deep breaths. Press with your upper arm against the leg and move your chest forward. And then the next move is to really grab your upper arm. Squeeze your upper arm between your lower leg and your thigh, and then cross your ankle. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release. Now let's try to lift the buttocks off the floor. Palms on the floor, lift the butt. And then come down. Okay. The next step would be to squeeze inner thighs and lift the butt. So let's do that. Squeeze inner thighs, lift the butt. And then once this is mastered, you can bend at the elbows. And there you have it, Ashtavakrasana. So let's start again, boat pose. You can do with your knees bent or legs straight, as you probably know already. Squeeze, 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 then bend the leg, cross. We're twisting to the other side. Try to lengthen your spine as much as possible, and then add the rotation of your spine. And when you're ready to bind, you just go ahead and bind. Not ready? Don't worry about the binding. Lengthen the spine and take a few more breaths here. And feel free to extend the top leg. Then release, going back to the seated boat pose. Core strength. It's extremely important for these more advanced asanas. And then lower your legs down. Same leg coming back from Ashtavakrasana A. So Sage pose A. With binding or no binding. And then coming up, same leg comes up as well. And then you move the knee to the shoulder, opposite shoulder. Press your hand very gently on the side of the leg. Push it a little bit more towards the back. Lift the foot up a little. Very nice stretch through here. And one more breath in. Same leg goes back. Then take your arm underneath the leg. So the leg needs to be lift your chest, and then try to extend your leg. Good. Take a few deep breaths here. This is called the compass pose. Can be done with this bottom leg bent as well. I'm doing it a little easier by keeping my bottom leg straight. So, bend that top leg, squeeze your upper arm between your lower leg and your thigh, and then cross. Squeeze your ankles. Okay? Then let's try to squeeze the inner thighs together. Show you from the side a little bit. Perhaps you have a better view. So squeezing your inner thighs together. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release. Then try to lift the buttocks off the ground. This works well. Then we do both together. Squeeze the inner thighs and lift the buttocks. So squeeze, inner thighs, lift the butt. And then when you're ready, you bend at your elbows. And there you have it, Ashtavakrasana. Coming back and release. So, this is your position for today, known as Ashtavakrasana. Have a nice